For today's project, we will be starting a line design focusing on balance. You will start with a black sheet of paper and you're going to be drawing 10 overlapping lines. The rules are it has to start on an edge and end on an edge. So you are going to do it in pencil first. If I wanted to make a curvy line, I want to stop before they intersect, kind of decide which end it's going to go over after I double it. So now I make the double of that line. Otherwise, you might just need to use the eraser, to erase where it overlaps. So this is my first line. It goes from one end and goes to the other. This is an example, similar to what your finished product's gonna look like. Now I might make an angular line going from this side to the other side, and I'm going to double it. You don't want your lines to be too thick or too thin, probably not thinner than your pencil or thicker than your finger. They can be shorter, starting on one end and going right off another edge, or they can be traversing your paper from end to end. You can make interesting details like squares or some round pieces connecting your lines. I kind of feel like they look like pipes when you do that. You need to have 4 lines that have some special details, whether it's patterns or some of these little round joints, something along those lines. Once you have 10 lines, and the way you're going to know that you have 10, because it gets very complicated, is if you start, I'll do my finished one here, if you start on the line in front of you and just count at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I have 24 ends, so that means I have 12 lines. So at least 10 and at least 4 that have some special details in them. Once you have that completed, then you can go to the teacher, show the work, and if the teacher approves, you may get a placemat, a little placemat like this, so when you're using the marker and you go off the edge of the paper, you're not getting the marker on the table. And you can get a pack of the metallic markers. Let me grab those. So this is in front of my desk. You have the placemats and the metallic markers. There are close to enough packs of the metallic markers for each of you to have your own. If I don't quite have enough, then you might share with your neighbor. And then you will start carefully outlining all of your lines. You also may decide at that point, which ones you are coloring in or making some special details, and you can use the markers like that. These markers are pretty good. If they start to dry out, just go slower with them. Sometimes that helps. They also are not great for you to color over an area that you already did. They don't want you to put a different color over top of them. So you colored in with one color. So you might have some interesting details. You can fill in, instead of coloring them in, you can do patterns. Like on this blue one here, I just did little lines. I don't want you to color in completely too many of them because it uses up the markers. I'd say a maximum of 2 that you could color in completely. Have fun.